The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son, and one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
I've got no time for this. You might be happy to put people's lives at risk, but I refuse to, and I'll get that confession out of you by force if I have to.
You're threatening me. You want to fight me? Well, I never. Well, why not? Let's have at it.
All right, let's do it.
Farewell.
Your breath. Yabot! Damn! Curse it!
Bastard! You'll get your penance now. It's a sin to fight so badly. Well, I have to admit you're good. Or I'm getting too old for this. Either way, if you think you'll get confessional secrets out of me with your fists, you're badly mistaken, boy. You can hammer me to death if you like, but the sanctity of the confession is unbreakable. I do want to help you, though. So come to the tavern in the evening, and maybe we'll come up with something.
I feel quite hungry. I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions? That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like? Do you know what Lubosch was doing the day Neuhof was raided? Do you know anyone Lubosch used to spend time with? Relatives or friends? That's all. Thank you. I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but ask if you must.
Who was this Lubosch who was murdered?
You could see at first glance he was no good. I kept well out of his way.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
There wasn't sight or sound of him for a long time. And then yesterday, he turned up at the church and even talked to the parish priest. I never saw him do that before. Probably had a bad conscience.
Do you know what Lubosch was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home. I didn't see him all day.
Do you know who Lubosch used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
As far as I know, he had nobody at all in this world.
That's all. Thank you.
May the Lord watch over you.
God be with you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder.
I don't know nothing.
That's all.
God be with you.
Is there somewhere I could...
Certainly. For how long?
Just the one night?
No problem, but you pay.
That's quite a lot. Can we discuss the price?
You're like it here. Like sleeping on a cloud it is. Take care now.
These onions will make you weep like a baby, but oh, wait until you get them in your mouth.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sir Hanish gives a job like that to a young fellow like you? Well, what do I care? Ask.
That man Lubosch who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a strange one. Always drinking, bad-tempered. Lord knows how he made a living. Well, maybe now I've got an idea or two.
That man Lubosch who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a strange one. Always drinking, bad-tempered. Lord knows how he made a living. Well, maybe now I've got an idea or two.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
I didn't see much of him lately, not even in the tavern. Not till yesterday in church, as it happens.
Do you know what Lubosch was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home at all. Wait, are you saying he... Jesus,
Do you know anyone Lubos used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
I really don't know. As far as I know, he had no kin. I never saw him with anyone.
That's all.
May the Lord watch over you.
Is there someone here who can compete with me in archery?
I'm sure someone can be found. First, I'll explain the rules to you. You shoot 7, 13, or 21 arrows, depending on who you're shooting against. The straw surround is worth 1 point.
All right.
Just one more.
Got it.
How good are you with a bow? So I can find you a suitable opponent.
I'm a beginner.
Doesn't matter. At least you'll get a bit of practice. Beginner. Splendid! Here's some arrows for you. But you can use your own if you want. Meanwhile, I'll round up the competition. Farewell. Right, on. Contest over, archers!
Put that weapon away, damn it!
I've come in the name of Sahan.
I don't know how I can help you.
That's all.
Good luck then.
onions will make you weep like a baby, but oh, wait until you get them in your mouth. Come right up.
Is there someone here who compete with me in archery?
I'm sure someone can be found. How good are you?
I'm a big...
It's me, God. Right, archers. Let's begin. I told you, you're not allowed to leave. You're disqualified. God be with you.
Is there someone here who compete...
Sure. How good?
I'm a...
It's me. Farewell. Right, archers. Let's begin. The contest is over. Henry. Take care now. God be with you.
Let's have a word about the price.
Sure, why not?
Here you are, with a little top-up.
My word, thank you kindly.
Is there someone here who compete...
Of course. How good?
I shot...
It's me, God. Right. Contest over, archers.
Put that weapon away.
Is there someone?
Of course. How good are you?
I shot.
Meanwhile, take it. Right, archers. Let's begin. Contest is over. Henry here is the winner.
Hey, stick that weapon in your belt before the guards see you.
May the Lord watch over you.
Is there someone here who compete with me in archery?
Of course. How good are
I reckon I can.
all the best archers shoot 21. Splendid. Meanwhile, take care. Right, archers. Let's begin. I told you.
Is there someone here who can?
Sure. How good are
I reckon I can take.
Meanwhile, take it. Right, archers. Let's begin.
Let's have a word about the price.
Well, we can...
Here, with a little something on top for good measure.
My what?
Yeah! Yeah!
Waste up your day.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but maybe we can work something out. But first, I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about it.
I understand. It must have been terrible. To the memory of all who were left behind. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
You think I'm too young for the job, Father?
I do, to tell the truth.
Well, I can only apologise for my lack of grey hair and gout.
Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
No, you're just making excuses. The people who say the church is corrupt are right. You don't care about anyone, only your own comfort.
I'm sorry you see it that way. Really sorry. You've no idea how wrong you are.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical, condemning vices, and of course describing them in detail. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. Oh, it's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj panuje sej smutek, do dnielo i rano utek, niech już małżeński majstrat, do wczera żylne staje brak. Už sej moji svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich muži, nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požadem si huby jako poslední jen. Buďme se mámy, ano ráda stávy a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem, tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra jen tu soudnej den, tak nalej mi hned a točí se svět.
Enough of this!
Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can ride is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Oh, come on. Ah! Oh. You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Miss! Ow.
All that cup back. Go.
So, my dear, wouldn't you like to have... No sooner said than done.
I'd love to. And Henry, too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dears. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Godwin, you beast. Get up. Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards.
Oh, fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, Stefan in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Wait, before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose as Sir Ratzig's protege, you just came from studying in Prague, and you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
So all at once, the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
We'll never get away with it.
Not if you make a hash of it.
Well, all right. But I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
I could do with a bite to eat.
What's the matter with you? You have
I thought he'd never show up. The swill dog.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God, any minute now he'd throw up.
So I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabilis a manus suas, Hoc facite in meam commemorationem. Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
That boy has a cheek.
One should not believe in the church, because the church is not God. God is above all things, and the church is but a means to salvation, which the prelates do not care to hear.
He's right.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, humans, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame! Shame upon them!
It is the custom of the gluttonous prelates and monks to preach against sin. But what do they know of us ordinary folk? Let us remember the marriage at Cana, where our Lord Jesus Christ himself feasted with the other guests and drank his fill. And when the wine was gone, he performed a miracle and created more. He, whose companions were poor travelers, simple folk, prostitutes and troublemakers, performed a miracle so the feast could continue.
Now that's the kind of sermon I like to hear.
No, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not condemn alcohol. Drink to lighten the cross you bear in this vale of tears, but not with such abandon that you cannot keep holy the Sabbath. For there should be moderation in all things, and it is not drinking itself that is sinful, but intemperance and beastly indulgence.
He's right.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates. Away with them.
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
I say to you, in the words of Jan Hus, he who knows much, let him speak much. He who knows little, let him speak little. Let each speak as much as he knows, And he who knows nothing, let him at least teach his neighbor one virtuous deed by setting him good example and refraining from playing dice and from fornication. And that applies both to priests and to you, brothers and sisters.
That's his conclusion?
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm glad
silver
he
tongue.
came here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now, slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you...
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out? Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
is someone there?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'd like to enroll in the big tournament. You've come too late, lad. We're all full up. Better look next. I'd like to enroll. You've come too.
And his adversary will be Mikhail of Yanovitz, spearman of the Lords of Stonberg. Welcome, our warriors. Well, as you can imagine, even more when I told him Potter would take everything from me.
Yeah.
Garlic, onions, mushrooms, and asparagus. Come right up. No need to be shy.
I hope I can. God be with you.
I'd like to.
Wow.
Here, with a little something on top for good measure.
Well, now, thank you very much.
Spades, forks, and axes. All you need to tame Mother Nature.
Good day to you. Farewell.
Let's have a word about the price.
Why not?
Here, with a little something on top for good measure.
My word.
Garlic soup for the winter, onion soup for the spring. Asparagus for taste and prunes for what ails ya. Try them.
May the Lord watch over.
Can we do some?
Aye.
Here. And something for your trouble.
Thanks, 1,000.
I'm at your... May the Lord watch over you. Take care now. Is there some...
Would you teach me more about alcohol?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice.
All right.
Isn't that quite...
Since it's you,
I'd almost... Agreed. Take care. May the Lord watch over you.
Would you teach me more?
Certainly.
I'm interested.
Wouldn't you rather learn the basics first?
I'm interested.
Wouldn't you rather...
Well, Yeah.
I'd like to order something here. Oh. Oh. I'm interested.
And what is it
A bit of everything.
that can...
I'm not giving you that.
And how much are you? You won't regret spending the money. I guarantee it. God bless.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
God save you.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right. Take care.
Let's talk about the...
Well,
Here. And something for your trouble.
thanks 1,000 times.
Oh, Henry of Skalitz, the glorious victor of the Rat-Eye tourney.
What now? Should we take a walk?
You don't give up, do you? Well, let me think. And where would you care to go?
What if we took a stroll along the river?
Why not? That sounds lovely. Shall we go?
Let's go.
That was a good idea to go for a walk. Not that I don't like the mill, but you get tired of it. So I'm glad you took me out. I'd love to see the markets in Prague one day. Have you ever been to Prague?
No, I haven't. I have been in Kuttenberg, but Prague must be much bigger.
I've heard it's pretty smelly, though. I'd love to listen to that young preacher, Jan Hus. They say he preaches in the common tongue. Everyone's talking about it.
I bet he's just handsome. That's why the women dote on him.
You're a right one. A preacher doesn't need good looks for people to listen to him.
And what about that fine fellow at St. James? I know full well why all the girls have started going to confession, and you have too. Don't give me any of that.
You scoundrel. Well, all right. I admit I find him handsome. But that doesn't make me a bad Christian.
I'd never dare to suggest such a thing.
Tell you what. Let's not dawdle. Last one is a slimy slug. That was fun. Sit down here next to me. And what about you? I heard you're helping Sir Radzig.
Sir Radzig has me running a few errands. I have to say, he always treats me well, and I make a wage.
So you've had your turn of luck. What's it like serving nobility?
I don't know. I suppose it's a job like any other.
Of course. I'm sure it's no different than being a charcoal burner. You'll have to try harder than that.
Now then.
Oh, Henry, what am I going to do with you? Wandering the land, turning innocent girls' heads.
Turning girls' heads? Not likely. I have my hands full with my duties. Sir Radzig hardly gives me time to take a breath.
Really? A common smith's son, and our liege lord can't manage without him. That's good. It shows you're talented. But now I have to go.
Can I go with you?
Just a little way. I don't want anyone to gossip. Thank you for coming with me. Please come and see me again.
Yeah. Yeah.
God! Greetings, good knight. How may I serve you?
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right. Let's see what we can do about that. Good luck then.
Let's have a word about the price. Here, with a little something on top for a good measure.
My word, thank you kindly.
So did I. All the way from Prague, they say.
And not much of a preacher, I hear. Our local priests give a better sermon.
May the Lord watch over you.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I'm looking for a fellow called Riki. Do you know him?
Riki? You mean Hinek, the courier's son?
Maybe. Do you know where I might find him?
He's not usually around here. Try asking at his home, but I hope you've got a thick skin. The old courier ain't exactly charming. May the Lord watch over you.
God bless.
My humble...
I've got some goods here.
All right. God be with you. Welcome, Henry.
Yeah.
Greetings, Henry.
Welcome, Henry.
I'd like to buy a horse.
I'm glad to hear it. We're badly in need of selling some. Have you looked them over?
Not yet.
Take care.
I'd like to buy...
I'm glad to hear it. Have you looked them over?
I have.
The best there are. Is there one in particular you fancy? There's not a horse here that can endure as much. He'd carry you 1,000 miles.
Surely you'll knock something off the price if I trade in my old one.
Done. Goodbye.
Hey, Henry's come to see us.
I'd like to buy a horse.
I'm glad to have you. Then may the Lord watch over you. Good luck then.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God save you. What can I do for you?
Are you happy here?
It's not worth a damn. If I had any choice, you wouldn't see my heels for dust.
Well, what's happened? Did you two get yourselves into trouble?
A fine friend you are, assuming it's our own bloody fault.
Oh, come on. You know what you two are like. I had to ask.
Well, perhaps with that monk. But now, the foreman's got it in for us. If he could, he'd skin us alive.
Always forcing you to work, is he?
If only. That wouldn't be so awful. But nothing we do is good enough for him. There's always some reason for him to yell at us.
I can imagine.
You know what it's like. We do too little, and it takes us too long, and what we eat's worth more than the work we've done, and it's no fun listening to that sort of shit day after day.
And you definitely don't... You don't ever provoke him?
I've already told you once, he's an arsehole. I'd say there's nothing we can do about it. If he wants to yell at us, he'll yell at us.
Have you tried talking with him?
What do you think? But that just sets him off. He starts saying we're practically bandits, and what he's going to do about it. That gets Fritz going, and he starts yelling too, and...
And the miller won't stick up for you? I would have thought all the yelling would drive him mad.
Not really. He trusts that loudmouth bastard more than us. He's got us down for a pair of parasites.
I see.
What's so stupid is the mill really needs us. They haven't had any hands here for quite a while, and the mill needs a lot of fixing. But with them around, we can't even get to work.
And what do you want to do about it? Just run away?
Actually, I'd like to stay here, at least for a bit. I never would have thought I'd like working in a mill. But not with him around. It's unbearable, and there's no one I can complain to. But you could.
Me? Do you think they'll listen to me?
They did once already, didn't they? They hired us because of you. You could have another word with them.
Back then, making promises was enough. Now, it will be worse.
You can forget about the miller. It's Thomas you need to convince. The miller takes his opinion seriously. So, will you do it for us? Again?
Fine. I'll try and talk to him.
I'm glad. But try not to get on his wrong side. You won't get anywhere with him then.
I'll keep that in mind. I'd like you to teach me how to be better at stealth.
Certainly.
I'd like to hone my skills.
First you have to have some skills to hone.
Well.
Take care.
My humble greetings. How may I serve you?
Matthew told me your foreman's a fool, and you're not exactly filled with Christian love for him.
You better believe it. I'd like to pay him back for everything and drown him in the river.
Drown him? What's he done to you?
It was the first or the second day here. We had a disagreement and I told him off. And then, all of a sudden, we're fighting and that fucker just throws me in the river. I nearly drowned.
Well, how did you get out? I thought you couldn't swim.
I can't. They pulled me out. I was up to my waist in water.
I see.
Well, I'd be pretty fucking angry too. So you want to pay him back?
Exactly. I don't give a shit about anything around here, but that bastard's in need of a good trouncing.
And what do you want to do about it? Do you think you can come to an agreement?
No fucking chance. Matthew hopes so because he likes it here. It's true the work's better than the mines, but the pay's worse.
So how do you plan on dealing with it? Leaving?
Perhaps. But first, I want to give Thomas a proper trouncing. I mean a real thrashing.
And you think that will help?
Maybe. Maybe it'll knock some sense into that fat head of his. Or he'll be too frightened to mess with me.
That might help.
So why don't you arrange a fight with him? If we win, he'll leave us alone. Oh, we could...
What?
We could lure him off someplace far away and then wait for him. Maybe to play dice with Lawrence. He would have to go through the dark woods.
I'll think about it.
See you later.
I want to get better at fist fighting.
Certainly.
I'd like to practice.
All right. Now, pay close.
Good day to you. Good luck to you.
So what do you think about the workers I brought you?
If I hadn't put in a good word for them, the miller would have thrown them out by now.
I heard them say something else.
So they're complaining, are they? I provide for them, and all they do is slack off.
Isn't it the miller who provides for them?
He can't manage the work anymore. If it weren't for me, there'd be nothing left standing around here.
But you need the help anyway. And they're pretty handy.
Maybe, but they're in no danger of overworking themselves. They act like they're too good for the mill, and I saw them eyeing up Jane.
Nothing strange about that. She's a pretty girl, and she's of an age to marry.
It's not marriage they've got on their minds. They'd have their way with her, then before her belly started to grow, they'd have run for the hills.
Look, we can reach an agreement. You need the mill fixed, they need the money. If they have peace to do their work, they'll be able to finish it faster.
But...
And then they'll take their groschen and leave. The mines will open again, and the faster they get their money, the quicker they'll be gone.
But do you really think I can trust them to do it? Will they do their work and leave? And leave Jane alone in the meantime?
Of course. They're not interested in the mill. They just need the coin to pay their debts. Once they've got enough, they'll have no reason to stay here.
I never thought we could sort it out this way.
I've known them for a long time, and you can rely on them when it comes to this. Everybody will be better off.
All right. If they keep their part of the bargain, I'll even give them a few extra groschen. But woe betide them if they don't. You can tell them that. Good luck to you.
It took some doing, but I made a deal with him.
I'm glad to hear it. So we can stay here? He'll leave us be?
He'll leave you alone, but there are conditions. Once you finish your job, you'll vanish from here. But you'll get an extra groschen or two for your troubles.
And that's it? I thought... Never mind.
Oh, and you're to stop dallying with the miller's daughter. Keep on mucking about with her and you'll muck things up for yourselves.
The fucking bastard. He can go fuck himself. He'd better give us enough groschen to make it worth it. But I suppose I should thank you. You may have brought us some peace and quiet, and that's better than nothing. Here's something for your help.
I'd like to ask about that Thomas again. never have guessed he's like that.
Well, get a job here as a hand and you'll soon see.
And what does he do during the day? Does he work?
Good one. He keeps his eye on everything, but his hand only touches the saw when the miller shows up, which isn't that surprising.
Why?
The last time he did anything, he almost took his thumb off with a chisel. I wouldn't put an axe in those paws of his either.
So he's clumsy and arrogant. That's what you said about your last master.
Aye, but... Goodbye.
Yeah!
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Good day, Henry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, who's there?
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I'm looking for your son. Any idea where he might be?
I don't know nothing.
Don't you at least know where he usually goes? It's important.
Hinek shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to. Even if I did, why would I tell every Tom, Dick and Harry?
Watch your tongue, peasant. I'm an envoy of Sir Radzig Kabila, and this is an official investigation. Stop trying to put me off, and tell me where your son is right now.
I apologize if I offended you, young man. But still, I don't know where Hinek is. He turned up at the house a while back, but then he vanished again in a hurry.
And you don't know where he went? What?
Look, it's been clear to me for a long time that my boy was headed for the gallows. But I'm still his father, right? And you can't expect me to rat on my own son.
If you value your son's life at all, you better pray I find him, because I'm not the only one looking for him.
That's no surprise. But what of it? If you're here on behalf of Sir Radzig, there's nothing waiting for Hinek but the gibbet.
That's for Sir Radzig to judge. But even if it's true, I'm sure Hinek would rather hang than fall into the hands of those savages.
I can't say you put my mind at ease. But to hell with it. I'll tell you what I know. All right. He was here a few days ago, but he left right away. He looked like he was in a hurry.
And you don't know where he went?
I've got an idea, but I don't know where it is exactly.
I don't follow.
Hinek makes some money on the side from poaching. He boasted to me a few times about what a great hideout he found in the woods, but he never told me where it is.
Well, it's not much to go on, but it's better than nothing. Thank you. Don't you have any clue at all where his hideout could be?
I really don't know nothing about that. I could tell when he'd come from there, is all.
How's that?
Because every time he brought some hides for tanning and money.
What more do you know?
Nothing. I swear to God Almighty, I've said all I know. Hinek never told me nothing.
Bloody hell. Start using your head or I'll never find Hinek. How much time did he spend away? What was he wearing? How did he look when he came back? Anything?
Well, he came and went at all sorts of hours. I really don't know. Except maybe one thing. He'd come home scratched with brambles and with leaves and muck on him.
So he probably went through thick woods to get to that place.
I reckon. What do I know?
He had money because he sold the stuff right away.
I suppose. He never kept any of his loot here.
Do you know who he sold it to?
No. But the innkeeper came here now and again and gave him coin. Of course, it could have been for me.
All right. I'll ask at the inn then.
Go. And if he's really in as much shit as you say... Hey, who's there?
I'm honored that you should come to me.
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinek.
Ask someone else. They've nothing to do with Riki. He'd only drive my customers away.
Really? I heard a different story. I heard the two of you do business together.
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Hinek's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is. But if you find the bastard, tell him he still owes me some goods.
I've no time for this. I have to find Hinek and you're going to help me.
Am I now? Even if I did know, why the hell would I help you?
This is a nice alehouse you have here. It would be a shame if anything happened to it.
Are you threatening me?
What do you think? So are you going to talk, or do I have to beat it out of you?
Fine. Let's get to the point then.
You know? Where there's a will, there's a way.
I did some deals with GP, but I swear to God, I don't know where he is.
How much game did he bring you?
Not much, a few pieces. There's no great demand here. Sometimes the gentry hears something, otherwise it ends up in sausages.
I hear Hinek has a hideout in the woods he uses for hunting game. Do you know where it is?
Not exactly. That is, I don't know where it is at all.
But
I happen to know it's a dark place, a cave or an old mine shaft.
How do you know that?
Whenever Riki was going poaching, he always came to me first for candles and lamp oil. We brought the game skinned and gutted, so we had to have a light for that.
And do you know of any mine shafts nearby?
There's a few of them around. There's one on the opposite bank, a short way off the path leading from the forge to the west. Then there's a mine gallery to the east of the village, up in the woods above the cliffs. And I heard there's one shaft on the headlands close to the water.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Watch you don't break your neck, though. It's rough ground, and you could easily fall down a shaft. God be with you.
Is there somewhere
Aye, there's a... For how long?
Just the one night?
No problem.
Here you go.
Yep.
Let's talk about the price.
Naturally.
Here. And something for your trouble.
Well, now.
feel quite hungry. Yeah. 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 Ah!
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
God be with you.
Take care now.
Can we do something about the price?
Well, we can try it.
Here, with a little something on.
Thanks 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Good day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's there? What? Who's there?
What's going on there?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Blood will be spilt! Call that combat!
Ha!
Fucking come on then! All right,
I'm
I
going
got
to
it.
enjoy this.
Bring it on!
Give up!
Come here, lily liver!
You're dead! Don't look at the knee, can you? God damn!
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh! Yeah. 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 I can't just drop everything and leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what Teresa's doing now. I could stop by and see her again. I enjoyed it last time.